get this thing situated. Hi, everybody. Live Farmer 73 here. I'm going to be talking funny for a minute. So if you don't understand me, I get it. I'm going live for two reasons that I couldn't put off. I want to say hello and good morning to everybody. Let me see who I can see here. Please forgive me if I can't say all your names. I kind of want to save my talking for what I feel I need to say. So, hello and good morning to absolutely everybody. Please state your name when you come in and represent yourself. Because I don't want to waste too much time and energy on that. I'm going to talk about my dental appointment this morning, but it goes further than that. This isn't just about my dental appointment. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Be Rich. Thank you, brother. This has to do with our health and underlying things that we do not do, and things end up being worse than they really are. I went and got that tooth taken care of. And that dentist pulled and yanked on that tooth for about an hour. I gotta honestly say, I told my wife when I came, I'm in the bed right now. I'm laid up from the dentist. That was the worst dental experience I've ever had in my life. Not because the doctor was bad, because he wasn't. Matter of fact, he was very skilled. The problem was my roots are so deep that, they're literally attached to my freaking skull. Like, I've always heard that, but that's not what I'm getting at here. It's not about my tooth being pulled, and it's not about how much effort it took to get it out. I'm here to talk about your overall underlying health. There are things that we go through in our bodies, and you don't even know what's wrong with you. You might think you got a cold. You might think every now and then I got to clear my throat because I there's build up of mucus for some reason. And I've been told by my doctor that it's my body might be fighting stuff off like, what's flying around right now. And that's a good thing. But you never know. This tooth it was infected. They could see it in the x-ray, it was so bad. So I had been taking antibiotics. Now, I don't take pills. I just don't do it. But it was so bad, he says, you need to take the antibiotics before I can do anything, or, this is not going to work. So from the last time I talked about my dental appointment, a week or two ago, I have been taking antibiotics. So when I went in to have it extracted today, he had a hard time pulling it out. You know how, not just that my roots were long, but the other reason is because it was so infected. The infection had spread and attached this. Let me try to remember how he said it. The infection had spread into the tissue and had deep rooted itself in my jaw. So now what I plan to do with by his request is go talk to a my physician about this. Everything is cool, but he was like, you need to go have that looked at. And I'm gonna tell you this. He said, you mean to tell me, just like the first time he said, you mean to tell me you've never felt any pain at all? I said, I had a couple of toothaches here and there, took some Tylenol, and I was cool. I never thought twice about it. I'm not like one of the, oh, none of that. He said, no swelling, no pain, nothing. He said, you had to feel something with this infection. You had to feel something with that tooth. I said, hell, I didn't know the tooth was bad till I thought I swallowed it. So my point to saying all of this is, here I am thinking I got a bad tooth. And the way it was explained to me, the infection, I had to sign a waiver, read, and sign a waiver. But as I read this waiver, it's stating how serious this situation had become, which I knew from being a medical professional, but medical professionals are the worst patients. We are the freaking worst. We're the worst patients you will ever have because we don't take our own advice. Whether you're a doctor, a nurse, it doesn't matter. You a dentist, it doesn't matter. You will have a 300-pound doctor come in and tell you that you need to lose weight. That's how bad. That's how bad medical professionals are. We're our own worst enemy. So I've been putting this off so long, and I know that this can be bad. But family, it's underlying problems. Everything that's wrong with us does not have to show on the surface. It could be that one little pain inside of us that we like, it'll go away. That shoulder pain will go away. Or that hip pain will go away. That back pain will go away. We think because you have no medical background whatsoever, you think from what we learn in society is you got a little back pain, you take a couple of pills, and you'll be okay. Well, what those pills do, all they do is numb the pain. They don't fix the problem. So you keep numbing the pain as the problem grows inside of you. So I had been having headaches here and there. And I thought because, sinus infection, headache, and I kind of thought that was what, was flying out here in the world right now. And I'm fighting it off. This infection has spread so much, I'm thinking it had everything to do. I don't get headaches. I never have. But recently, and here I am trying to self-diagnose myself with, oh, it's just my age. I couldn't stand to lose some weight. I'm self-diagnosing without being critical, without doing any critical thinking. Like, hey, how about it's this tooth sitting right here where the side of your head hurts? You need to go get it looked at. No. First thing we think of is our pocket, because I will never take away that the system is crooked, because it is. Do they have us pacified on the system where we have to stay with the system? Absolutely. Is the system crooked? Absolutely. They got us by the balls, y'all. But then it's time for you to start making a decision. They got us wrapped around their fingers so much. Are you just going to die, or until you can figure out another way to beat the system, we got to work with the system until we can beat it. So for me, not going to get looked at and examined, I'm not winning, because I can't beat the system if I'm dead. You got to remember that part. You can't beat the system if you're dead. If you die, the system wins because they get paid. You even got to pay to die. You're paid to be born, and you have to pay to die. Ain't that something? So, I'm here today to talk about underlying problems of things that we don't see on the surface. This infection, the more I read on it, the more I remember from my medical background, something this simple can kill you. Something as simple as a tooth infection can kill you. If this infection was so bad, I can't make this up. The tooth root was about that. Let me see. The tooth root was about that long. Just say, quarter of an inch long, right? The root of the tooth itself was a quarter of an inch long. The infection was longer than the infected tissue that had attached itself to the tooth, was longer and thicker than the tooth itself. He didn't have a hard time taking the tooth itself out because the tooth broke. He had to cut it. He broke the crown off, and then he cut it, and he took each root out. He had to do that because the root was engulfed in infection, and the infected tissue was branching out into my freaking head. Problem with that is that infection. Now, I've been taking antibiotics for a little over a week or so. Imagine that. And it's still that infected. It's still that infected over half a week. Over a week and a half. That can kill you. And nobody would be the wiser. It's just weird stuff go on with your body, and you don't pay no attention to it. I've had weight gain, but I'm eating right. I've had, I just came from the hospital not too long ago. Everything is great. What else is making all this stuff happen? Blood pressure is always great. Everything. It's always something else. So, what is that? We got to stop. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself with good foods and herbs and things we grow in our garden. But family, we can, until we are of good health, spiritually, physically, mentally, we can't just keep taking matters into our own hands. For instance, if you buy an old car, and it's a project car, at least go take it to the shop to see what it really needs first before you go to tinkering on it. If you understand what I'm saying, go get it looked at by a professional and see exactly what it needs. Then bring that car home and start tinkering on it. what we do with our bodies is we should do that same thing. Go have the pros look at it first. And then say, well, I don't need that. I can go and get me some ashwagandha and some ginger root and some elderberry, and then, then I can fix myself. Don't just go off your own understanding of what you think you need when you don't have a clue. You will remove yourself from this earth trying to be a smart ass. Please excuse me. Um, I'm on I'm definitely on painkillers. I couldn't say no this time. Um, what they did to me, I thought I was gonna lose my stuff, man. I have never felt like that before. So stop self-diagnosing yourself. Self-diagnose yourself to death. Go get looked at. I looked at the bill of what it's going to cost me to have all this work done to my mouth. I got a couple of cavities here and there and some cleaning and some filling, but nothing too major. But I've seen, and I'm still getting the what is it called? Partials, or I'm getting all that looked at too. I'm paying for my grill because if I knew this tooth was that bad and probably been causing me all this trouble, I would have been went to the dentist. So don't be thank you make this go viral. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. This matter of fact, the only reason I'm sharing this with y'all is because it's 400 and something people in this room, and out of 473 people, I bet you 400 of us have the exact same situation going on. You think you know what you're doing and you don't. You self-diagnosing and trying to fix your own situation. You ain't got a clue. You listening to YouTubers like me trying to fix your situation. Everybody. And what we really need is you need to go get a tune-up from a professional first, then listen to some YouTubers. Okay? Everybody. Because that's what we do. And I gotta say this too. Don't feel sorry for me. Matter of fact, use me as an example of we got to get ourselves together and get ourselves straightened out, because this is totally preventable. This is totally preventable. Something that could kill you. We all got somebody in our family. We all have somebody in our family that passed away from fairly unknown causes, or they'll say natural causes. That natural causes does not always mean they were elderly. Natural causes or unknown causes, and there is no foul play. Usually, what that could be is we don't know what kind of ailments people have going on in their bodies because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. And I'm going to throw this out here to all my folks. Every time I go to a doctor's office, which is rare, I ain't gonna lie, because I'm in it with you. Every time I go to the dentist, which is rare, because I'm right here with you, my folks, every time I go to the doctor's office or the dentist's office, I'm the only one of me that I see besides my wife. The whole waiting room be filled with every other ethnicity And I might be the only one in that room every single time. I know we don't trust them sometimes, the doctors and the nurses. We don't trust the system. But damn, we do not, we can't keep sipping chicken noodle soup to fix everything. Sometimes we got to go to the doctor, man. And I'm saying this to all my fellas. And I'm really aiming at the folks that favor me. Man, take your butt to the doctor, man. Take your butt to the dentist. You ain't got to be old. Matter of fact, if you young and listening to me, you definitely need to go. So your health and some of your health issues and problems is 100% preventable, especially when it comes to everything we put in our mouth. Everything. If you do an experiment, do an experiment. Even the experiment is hard to do because we so raggedy about it. Write down everything you eat every day for 7 days. On day 7, before you go to bed, look at your list. You can't lie to nobody but yourself, so it ain't no competition. Out for yourself, do that. Write down every freaking thing you put in your mouth. And write down every bowel movement or every urination that you have. In the medical field, you kind of like, it's like charting. Write down every bowel movement and every urination you have, and write down everything you put in your mouth. Even a stick of gum. Even if you chewed but you didn't swallow, like what that president said. I smoked, but I didn't inhale. mm. mm. I want to laugh so bad. I'm making myself laugh and hurt myself. I smoked it, but I didn't inhale. Everything you put in your mouth, even a stick of gum. Because if you chewing that gum, you're swallowing the sugars and the chemicals that went in that gum. On day 7, before you go to bed, look at your list and find out where you could do better at. Like, just an experiment that I'm doing myself. Even if somebody just gave you a bite of a sandwich, write it down. You know? So this live stream is not all about me at all. I'm an example of poor health care on myself. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm blaming myself for neglecting my health. As a black man, I know I need to be way slicker than this. Okay? Now, this is about all of us. And I felt right now, right this minute, I need to talk about it. I'm not waiting to a specific time. I needed to talk about it right now. So with all that being said, that goes right into this subject here. We know when you feeling bad. You know when your back hurt. You know when your shoulders hurt. You know when your hands hurt. You know when you got sharp pains, all of that. You know that. But you don't do nothing about it. Pop some Tylenol, you think you all good to go for the rest of the day. gotta stop doing that. And I feel like the Godfather. All this cotton in my mouth. If you know you got a problem coming, you need to stop and fix it. There is weather coming for us. Unlike anything the South has ever seen. I've seen the predictions for our weather here in South Carolina and on Freedom Acres. It will be dropping down to 17 degrees for 3 days straight. The highs will only be in the 40s. That is going to not only put you on edge if you're not prepared for this, but it will devastate every crop imaginable in the South. That's how my lemon tree took a hit a couple years ago. Lillian. It was 80 degrees that day 2 years ago. I'm sorry. No, that was last year. It was 80 degrees that day. That by that night, it was 28 degrees. It did that consecutively for a week. The highs would be in the 70s. The highs would be in the 80s. The highs would be in the upper 60s. And every night it would drop into the 20s and the 30s. And it devastated all of my citrus trees. It killed a lot of normal trees too. Some of my fruit trees did not produce that year because they didn't know whether they should produce or not. If you do not understand the weather pattern that's coming our way, if you do not understand the weather pattern that's coming our way, you better get yourself in gear, because we're going on a ride of a lifetime for the next couple of months. Everybody in the South, from the east to the west, below the Bible Belt, you better get yourself in order. See, that's why I was talking about this tooth. Don't just look on the outside and think everything is okay. Right now, everything looks okay. It was beautiful and sunny all yesterday, all across the United States. It was actually 68 degrees yesterday here. But now it's only 40 degrees, something like that, and going to drop down to 17 degrees. I don't think you understand how life-threatening that is to everything. See, we thinking about ourselves, and we can be in a house. You in a house and you warm and you cool. You prepared. You got all of your food and stuff in your house. So you're fine, right? You got water, plenty of water. You fine, right? Now let's talk about the aftermath. The aftermath is, if you did not stock up on seeds, you're going to regret it, because this weather is going to devastate every crop imaginable from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's going to damage. Everybody ain't got no gardening skills, and everybody ain't gardening. Now we was learning how to be more self-sufficient. But what we really we need to work on now is get ready to be the supplemental food source, the actual supplemental food source for this coming year, where everybody was mainly shopping at the grocery store and letting the garden supplement things that they didn't have, like some onions, some herbs, couple of potatoes. That's what we've been doing. But we got to make it go the other way around to the best of our ability. Now I've got a lot of seeds started. I got a lot of stuff going, and I haven't even showed you yet. And the only reason I said I'm going to start them is because everything is going to Freedom Acres. But the reason I said I'm going to start seeds anyway is because I don't even really think it's going to be too many starts going on. And if there are any seeds to be found this spring, after this devastation, because I'm going to tell you, you think me and you are the only ones buying up all the seeds. What is the farmers going to do? You don't think they need those same seeds that we go in the shop for too? You think they got a special organized seed spot? They need them seeds too. And the people that supply them farmers them seeds, they going to pull back from they would rather the farmer have the seeds than us. They need the farmers to have them seeds to produce crops. We're just playing around. That's how they think. So, get your stuff planted super early. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got some stuff down there that's already ready to be up potted. I can't make this up. I'm gonna show you. Get yourself together. This weather is going to be so devastating. We gonna remember this one. We all gonna remember this year right here. 2024 starting out, tearing our drawers off. You better believe that. Because I know, I'm looking out at my fruit trees. I know what it's going to do to them fruit trees. I know what it's going to do to everything I got left. It was 68 degrees yesterday, and now it's going to drop down to 17 degrees tonight. That's not enough time for even, imagine if you was outside. You don't got to be outside. Imagine you in the house. It would take more than one day for your body to acclimate from 68 degrees down to 17 degrees. The reason why I always felt so strongly about fruit trees is because they're no different than us. You think just because it's a tree, it's okay with this weather? You think just because it's a tree and it lives outside, that is no big problem to this tree? It's destroying this tree. It's destroying them all. And as it is destroyed, even if it's not destroyed the way you think, what it does is make the tree slumber harder. And then in the little pieces and the little cracks, just like this tooth, let infection get in. Like our pine trees, right? Y'all don't think y'all need pine trees. Oh my God. You just don't know how to use pine trees. But when that weather get crazy like it's been getting, that make it easy. When them trees get sick from this crazy weather, that make it easy for those pine tree borers, beetles to get in them. And disease and infection and ruin and destroy all of our trees. And don't nobody understand. Without these trees, we're finished. What? I hate that taste. Without these trees and bees, we're finished. We, as human beings, are finished. If you start your seeds inside, and I'm gonna go off on a side note here. Don't just plant food. Not this year. Plant something. Plant a maple tree. I know this sounds crazy coming from me. This year, plant a maple tree or plant a pine tree. Plant a tree. A tree that never sleeps like a pine tree. I know this sounds crazy, especially coming from me, but the reason I'm saying that is if we just keep letting the disease and the weather and the beetles and these weird bugs, every year it's a new beetle or new bug in our garden. How many people have that problem? Every year you have a garden, we starting to see creatures, bugs, and insects we've never seen before. Over the last 3 years, I've noticed creatures in my garden that I cannot explain. I can't explain them. I can't find them in any book. This year was the first year on Freedom Acres that I found, I don't know what kind of bug it was, but it looked like a eyeball. It looked like a human eye. And it eats flesh. I don't know what that is. It's black and white. And it looked like an eyeball looking at you. I guess that's the back of it or something. But when you see a bunch of them devouring a animal that has passed away, it looked like a bunch of eyes looking at you. With all this crazy weather, all these crazy insects, bugs, everybody got mold problems, vole problems, problems with cabbage worms, and everything they want to eat what we want to eat. Where do you see us being in the next 10 years if we keep letting this go on like this? Just like our bodies. That's why I'm relating the two. Just like our bodies, where do you think we will be in 2 years if you keep neglecting your body, eating like a 12-year-old and taking care of your teeth like you got another set coming? And where do you think you're going to be in 10 years if you keep neglecting your garden or keep neglecting the earth and society and letting it go down without you taking a stand to do something? They're going to end up in the same place, 6 feet deep. If we don't stop, this world is about to be a barren wasteland. You mark my word. And I ain't talk about no futuristic 300 years down the line crap. I'm talking about in the next 10, 20 years. It's going to be damn near unlivable if we keep going the way we're going. Our health is bad and the earth is dying. With that being said, get yourselves together. I'm going to be putting up another video. I shouldn't be up, but I have to. And I'm about to show y'all a couple of heating sources for your greenhouse, for your home, your tiny home, your cabin, whatever you need to heat up. And I'll do it live if I have to, just to show you exactly what I do. And I hope it helps you. So, everybody, please be careful out there. put your bug out bags in your car. Somebody said, what do I do if I live and it's below about water and I live in below zero temperatures, like where I'm from? Our water freezes. So what? Just don't fill the bottle all the way up. Leave a gap. Leave about an inch gap in your water bottle and make it plastic so it gives the ice somewhere to expand. I didn't say you might get trapped in your car or trapped in your garage and you still need to wash up. You need drinking water. So keep water in your car anyway. Just don't fill the bottle up so that water and that ice can expand if it does. Okay? You can lick ice and get water. But keep food in your car because cars are breaking down on the highways and everybody is. I see people every day when I'm out and about on the side of the road, unexpected. They had no idea. This weather is messing with everybody's batteries. Your car ain't starting. Your tires is low because we don't even understand how this works. That heat and that cold, it expands things or shrinks them one way or the other. We just out there all willy-nilly, not enough air in your dang on tire. We out there, people putting water in their radiators because they too cheap to buy antifreeze. The water expands in your radiator and busts the hoses and busts the radiators and busts your engine block because your engine block ain't nothing but aluminum. Take nothing to break aluminum. If you have water, if you have poured water inside your radiator for any reason whatsoever, you need to go have that flushed out of your system and put proper antifreeze in your automobile before you break your radiator, bust your engine block, and now you out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know what you paid for your car, but you know. So, do I have any questions before I get out of here, y'all? Any questions? You say you used to drive from Detroit to Harriet Township. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, so I understand. Hey, she is Sunshine. Hey, Renaissance Grandma. How you doing? Say, I just taken my water out of the car because it froze as soon as the temperature creeps in, but I'll put it back. Just take a little bit of the water out, let it expand, even if you have to have half a bottle of water. Think about it. If you have half a bottle, you still got some water to ration. Just put a bunch of half bottles in the car. No, a bonsai tree ain't gonna cut it, my friend. Just plant a real tree. The reason I said plant a real tree is because the deforestation of our planet is beyond recognition. We need to each start planting a tree. And I know people gonna think I'm crazy. I ain't on that. They ain't give me that much medicine. I just been looking into the deforestation of everything to build the dumbest stuff. Ripping down all our state parks and natural parks to build a freaking strip mall or build an auto zone. I'm watching this in my own area. I'm watching it and it disgusts me. Like, why would you pinch the straw in the glass? Because that's what we're doing. Every time we cut down a bunch of trees to build a Walmart or AutoZone or Piggly Wiggly, We are literally pushing harder on our throat. We are literally asphyxiating ourselves. That's hard to say with cotton in your mouth. We are literally strangling ourselves for the dumbest reasons. And I know planting one tree ain't gonna help. But it's 650 people in here. If 650 people planted 2 trees apiece, I think we might be doing something. That's what I'm saying. Just 2 trees. Even if it's just one. I just think we don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And we leave everything, we leave our safety, our security, and everything to the system. One thing we forgot along the way, a long time ago, the system works for us. We, the people, are the employer. When did we start figuring it's the other way around? We, the people, are the employer. When did the employees start making the rules for the employer? And that's where we are. They're telling us, I'm going to touch on something, and I'm not going to make it long, but all of this relates to everything, even all the way down to my tooth. Did you know one of the reasons they're ripping down half of the Amazon forest? So we can eat beef? Did y'all know that? So they have enough land to raise cattle for beef. The same animal that's messing up the air and messing up our bodies is also choking us half to death. I can't make this up. All the ranchers and all the people keep wondering why all these rich people are buying up all the land. Because if they can buy up all the land and keep producing things that we don't need, but only produce things that we want, they win. If we keep letting them do that, we're the fools. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's just the truth. It's going to be a lot of ranchers in here that don't really care for what I'm saying, but I understand. You know, it's just the truth. Just look it up. That's all. Do your research. Just look it up. Don't listen to nothing I say. Listen to what I say. Don't believe what I say. Just go look it up yourself. They are cutting down forests that help this planet breathe. We keep wondering why we're seeing all these strange insects, strange bugs, strange animals that we've never seen before, strange diseases that keep hitting us. We keep wondering where this is coming from, and we keep making up conspiracy theories on where some of this stuff comes from. If you got glaciers melting, okay, let me put this. I'm from the north, and I know one thing for sure, just from living in the snow. When you got a big block of ice, it looks pretty while you're still outside, and it's this big hunk of block of ice. Roll with me. Big chunk of ice, you bring it in the house. Bring that chunk of ice, that big old chunk of ice that you picked up off the ground, bring it in the house and put it in a glass bowl and let it melt. And ask me, would you drink it? just like it's set, just like it's set in a bowl. What that big pretty piece of ice is going to show you while you outside in the cold, it looks beautiful. But when you bring it in the house, what you realize as it melts is motor oil in it, transmission fluid, blood, urine, spit, feces. Everything is going to show up in that water. All of that chemicals and diseases and stuff that can harm your health and harm your life, now it's floating around there in that bowl of water. If you live in the north, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you've done it. Everybody that live in the snow and ice has done this before. Bring a pretty snowball in the house and let it melt in a bowl and watch what you get. So what do you think is being released out of those glaciers as they melt? Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It's majestic to see them. Gigantic towers of ice flip out and turn in the water and splash. But at the same time, they're releasing things that haven't been around on this earth for millions of years. As they melt, they're releasing things that have been frozen in that ice for millions of years. So that's where we're getting a lot of these weird conditions, diseases. We cutting down all the forestry, and where them animals, insects, bugs, birds ain't got nowhere to go. And then they move right in with us, and we think that they sending it to us from overseas. We doing it to ourselves. It's easy to lay blame on other people. I'm not gonna go down that alley. I just want everybody, please bundle up, get yourself together, get you some cover, get you some blankets. If you ain't got a wood stove, go get you a damn wood stove. Everybody should have a wood stove. Even if you live in an apartment. I know that question is coming. Even if you live in an apartment, you should own a little wood stove. I'm not going to say how to use it. I'm not going to say you should use it. I'm saying you should own one before somebody try to get me about that. And I'm going to demonstrate to you why. That's all I'm saying. Thank y'all for listening. We got to take better care of ourselves, especially now. This weather is about to ram it to us. And I don't think too many people is really ready. Too many people, they ain't ready. They think this is a joke. Then they say, oh, I don't believe in global warming. Who cares? If you don't believe in global warming, I don't care. All I ask of you, even if you don't, I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. I'm just saying, explain to me, how is it 80 degrees in the midday and 17 degrees by 9 p.m.? If just explain. We don't got to put labels on anything. We don't got to say, oh, it's global warming, it's this or that. I don't care what it is. Explain that. And people say weather manipulation. I don't care what it is. I don't care who's doing it, what's doing it, natural, man-made. I don't care. None of us should give a damn about how it's happening. Are you ready to fend it off? That is the problem. People, they like to fuss and fight. They like controversy. Who gives a damn who's controlling the weather? If it's Mother Nature or if it's NASA, who cares? The same people that's fussing and fighting about whether it's weather manipulation or what's them things they crop dusting circles in the sky. I don't give a damn what it is. The only question I ever care about is, are you ready to handle the situation? What they call them things? Uh, I can't even think. It's so ridiculous to me. Everybody like to talk about the problem, but don't want to talk about the solutions. That's where I fall short on a conversation. I just don't care where it come from. I don't care. The same people they're ready to argue about is man weather manipulating the weather, or is Mother Nature, or is global warming, and all these other labels that we done pulled out our rectums. Them the same people that ain't got 2 loaves of bread, ain't got no jars of food put away, ain't got no water, ain't got no way to protect themselves, ain't got no way to stay warm or no way to stay cool. They just like to argue. They like to fuss and fight about stuff that don't even matter. Everybody just want to know, round earth, flat earth. Who gives a dang, who cares? I've been hearing that argument for the longest. People are spending millions of dollars trying to prove that the earth is flat. Who gives a damn? Who cares? If it's flat or if it's round, if it's square, who cares? Them is the people with nothing better to do. Them is the same people ain't got no food put away, ain't growing no garden, ain't trying to buy no land. You trying to prove, do me a favor. I don't care if the earth is flat or round. How, you could prove to me how I could get some free land. Prove to people how they can work up on some free land. Now we got a conversation. All them other arguments is distractions. And everybody is so hell bent on trying to prove themselves about that bull crap that they ain't even paying attention to the stuff they supposed to be paying attention to. Our health is bad because we so hell bent on the next fad diet, or it just, man, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I don't know whether it's the medication or I'm that frustrated. Maybe a little bit of both. Definitely the medication is kicking in because I don't feel anything. Please, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family. Go get yourself together. Get your health checked out. If you don't care about yourself, your family do. It don't do it for you. Do it for them. If you don't care about putting no food away, don't do it for you. Do it for them. If you don't care about growing a garden, don't do it for you. Do it for them. We tell each other we love each other all the time, but we don't show it. Words mean jack shit. Words don't mean anything. You show people you care. You show people you love them. You show them. I don't got to keep telling you I love you every 5 seconds. Man, go out there and plant me some vegetables. You know? Put some food away for me. So if I get into a jam, there goes some food right down there. You know? Simple. Simple. Instead of buying a bunch of bull crap over the holidays, buy somebody a bug-out bag with some supplies in it. I know what I'm going to give my son-in-law. I'm going to get him a shovel because he ain't gave me my damn shovel back out there on Freedom Maker. Everybody take better care of ourselves. All right? I'm going to let y'all get on with y'all day. And I'm going to try not to freaking pass out. Everybody, do me a favor. When this video goes off, can you please Because I can't be the only one telling everybody stuff. I'm not the only platform on YouTube. Can everybody please, after the video goes off, put your recommendation on how to stay warm in this weather? When this video goes off, put in the comment section to tell other people that don't know, because there's actually people out there that do not know how to stay warm. Give them a list of supplies and a list of skills that they may need to get through this weather. Okay, please put it in the comment section so they can come here, because they may not know you, but they may know me. But they can come to this channel and watch this video and get that information from you. Okay, please. It don't got to be to a specific person. Just start spitting your skills, please. After this video goes off, please list the skills and the supplies that a person may need to get through this weather. With that being said, everybody, please be safe out there. It's going to get ugly, and it's not going to get no better no time soon. Leah Farmer 73, I love you, and I'm out. Peace.